Parents excluded my son from $1,000 park trip. Stepkids don't count, he cried, watching siblings pack. I stayed calm, called my bank. The next morning, Mom was frantically banging on my door. My parents excluded my son from the family theme park trip. They said stepkids don't count. He cried, watching his cousins pack their bags. I stayed calm and called my bank. The next morning, my mom was banging on my door in a panic. I married Kevin 6 years ago. He had a son named Eli from his first marriage. Eli was 4 when I met him. Now he's 10. I raised that boy. I taught him to ride a bike. I stayed out with him when he was sick. I helped him with homework every single night. He calls me mom, not stepmom. Mom. My parents never accepted him. They were polite to his face, but behind closed doors, they made comments. He's not really yours. You're playing house. What happens when Kevin leaves and takes him? I told them Eli was my son in every way that mattered. They smiled and nodded and never changed. Every year, my parents plan a big family trip. They take all the grandkids somewhere fun. Last year, it was the water park. Year before that was the zoo. This year, they planned a weekend at a big theme park 3 hours away. Hotels, park tickets, meals. They estimated about $1,000 per kid. I have 2 sisters. Between them, there are 5 kids, plus Eli. That's 6 grandchildren, or so I thought. 2 weeks before the trip, my mom called me. She said they had finalized the numbers and bought the tickets. I asked how much I owed for Eli's share. She went quiet. Then she said, "We decided step-grandkids don't count for the family trip. It's not personal. We just want it to be real grandchildren only." I didn't yell. I didn't argue. I just said I understood and hung up. That night, my sisters came over to help their kids pack. They did it at my parents' house. I wasn't invited, but Eli wanted to see his cousins, so I dropped him off for an hour. When I picked him up, he was sitting on the porch alone. His eyes were red. On the way home, he asked me why Grandma said he wasn't real family. I pulled over and held him while he cried. He asked what he did wrong. I told him he didn't do anything wrong. Some people just don't understand what family really means. That night, I made a decision. See, my parents aren't rich. They're comfortable, but they couldn't afford a $6,000 trip on their own. So where did the money come from? Me. 3 years ago, my dad got sick. Medical bills piled up. They almost lost their house. I paid off $42,000 of their debt. I also started sending them $1,500 a month to help with bills. They never told my sisters. They were embarrassed. They wanted everyone to think they were fine. So for 3 years, I quietly kept them afloat while they treated my son like he didn't exist. The morning after Eli cried on that porch, I called my bank. I canceled the automatic transfer to their account. Then I sent my mom a short text. "I'm stopping the monthly support. You can use the trip money to cover your bills instead." She called me 9 times. I didn't answer. Then my dad called. Then both my sisters. Then my mom showed up at my door at 7 in the morning, pounding like the house was on fire. I opened it and she pushed past me. "What do you mean you're stopping support? We depend on that money." "I know. You should have thought about that before you told my son he wasn't real family." She started crying. "That's different. That's about the trip. This is about our bills." "No, this is about the same thing. You don't get to take my money every month and then exclude my child. That's not how this works." She tried to argue. She said Eli wasn't technically her grandson. She said blood matters. She said I was being emotional. I told her I was being practical. I had been paying for a family that didn't include my son. Now I was done. My sisters found out about the money that same week. They were furious. Not at our parents. At me. They said I was holding finances over everyone's head. They said I was ruining the trip. They said Eli should understand that family traditions are complicated. I told them Eli is 10 years old and he cried because his grandmother said he wasn't real. There's nothing complicated about that. The trip got canceled. My parents couldn't afford it without my monthly help. My sisters couldn't cover the difference. The 5 real grandchildren didn't get to go anywhere. My mom told the whole extended family that I destroyed the trip out of spite. She left out the part where she excluded a 10-year-old. She left out the part where I had been funding their lifestyle for 3 years. She left out all of it. But my aunt asked questions, then my uncle, then my cousins. Slowly, the truth came out, and people stopped feeling sorry for my parents. Last week, my dad called. He said they made a mistake. He said they wanted to make it right. He said they would include Eli next time. I told him there wouldn't be a next time. Eli doesn't need people who have to be forced to love him. He has me, he has Kevin, he has a family that chose him on purpose. That's enough. My parents are struggling now. My sisters are helping where they can. I hear it's tight. I feel bad sometimes. Then I remember my son sitting alone on that porch asking what he did wrong, and I don't feel bad anymore.